and Director of Education for the Claire Muhammad School of Queens, New York, since 2000. Upon the death of his predecessor, Imam Dean, he previously taught English, Islamic Studies, and Social Studies at the Claire Muhammad School of Queens. While serving as Security Director for the school in Masjid from 1980 to 1990, he was appointed Assistant Imam by Imam Dean. Imam Ramadan has worked as a security consultant and runs several companies that provide both security products and services to schools, colleges, municipal housing authorities, and the feature film and television industry for 20 years. He is married to Majida Ramadan, an educator, his wife for 33 years, and they have 2 children. And personally say that Imam Ramadan is a very excellent representative of Islam in New York. I had the opportunity to travel with him to Istanbul, Turkey, and other parts of Turkey, and he represented us well. And it was indeed a pleasure and honor for me to travel with him. So I bring Imam Yusuf Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi azwajal. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Again, we greet you. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is highly glorified as He is Most High for this humbling opportunity. It's a very humbling opportunity, an experience for me to say that I have been invited to give a Ramadan session. And we know that the Ramadan sessions were started for us by our leader and teacher, Imam W.D. Muhammad. And if you know something about it, you were blessed to be and fortunate enough to be present at even one of those Ramadan sessions, you will know what I'm talking about. It was a very special time, and usually we would begin in the morning right after Fajr prayer and go all day until Maghrib, and then we would break the fast, and then we would come back again on Saturday morning and do the same thing. And Sunday, the Imam would let us go after the Zuhr prayer. But it was a time when the Imam really, he shared everything that he had with us for 33 years. But during those Ramadan sessions, he gave us some special education. And he told us that what I'm giving you is special. Everybody, they're not getting this. They're not privy to this. And so, it's with some trepidation that I tried to emulate him, and that's why I'm choosing to sit down to give this, because I'm not giving a khutbah. And I'm emulating him, and I hope to emulate him. I pray Allah will bless this presentation and bless me to give it in the way that it was intended and in the best way, and that you will receive it that way as well. But I'm emulating him and sitting down because, when you stand up sometimes, and especially myself, you have a tendency to get a little hyped up. And I don't want to get hyped up, because the Ramadan session, as the Imam taught it to us and showed us, modeled it for us, is supposed to be on a very high level of teaching. It's not supposed to be preaching. We're not supposed to be preaching, we're supposed to be teaching, you see? Alhamdulillah. And, I studied my Imam, my leader and my teacher, not just his khutbahs and his thousands of talks, and that I was blessed to be in attendance at and listen to, but I studied his disposition and his mannerisms and his approach to the religion, his approach to his family, his approach as a human being, you know. And I had an opportunity one time, I really hadn't intended to mention this, but in just seeing Brother Wallace there, and he probably doesn't remember this, but, you know, I was blessed to work with Brother Shaka and Brother Hothick and other brothers for many years in providing personal security for the Imam, and even drove Wallace around when he was a young grill. He probably don't remember that. But they came into New York and they put him in my car. This was in the early 90s. I had just gotten a Jeep at that time. And, you know, if you know how those caravans would run with the Imam in it, you know, you had to be able to drive. You had to know how to drive to keep up. And if you couldn't keep up, you know, I mean, the worst thing that could happen to you is, you know, we were coming out of Atlantic City, New Jersey one time, and it was raining so hard. It was raining so hard, if you stuck your hand out the window, you couldn't see your hand, foggy and everything. I'm not going to mention who the brother was, he's not here now, that was driving the lead car. But this man was doing 90 miles an hour. And I was saying to Imam Bakruddin, who was in the car with me, and Brother Ali, I said, we ain't going to kill the Imam. I mean, the way this brother's driving, you know, and say either he's going to run into somebody else, or one of the cars that's following is going to run into him when he stops short. And we just, I mean, they were just racing from Atlantic City, you know. But what I'm saying is because at some point they lost me. I couldn't see. Just couldn't see the car, and I never prayed so hard in my life, you know. Because I know what it is. I mean, if you lose the Imam, I mean, brother, you just might as well pack up and move to another country. And Brother Ali was saying, I'm not saying nothing. He just saying, I'm not saying nothing. And he was saying everything, but he was saying, I'm not saying nothing. And I was just praying, oh Allah, please, please, please let me find this car. So Allah blessed me to find them. You know, I caught them just before we made it back to the hotel. And Imam Bakruddin said, brother, Allah really bless you. You will never live this down. If you lost the Imam, you just couldn't come around no more. So alhamdulillah, you know, but I was talking to the Imam during the month of Ramadan. I had an opportunity to say to him, thank you, you know. Thank you for blessing me to, we had the brothers that were working with me in security that had some businesses. We put together some money to give the Imam a check, you know. And he said, what's this for? Is this for my ministry? Or I said, well, you know, brother, man, this is for you. Whatever you want to do, that's what it's for. Whatever you want to do with it. You know, it's for you. He said, oh, for my family. I said, for your family, whatever you want to do with it. He said, oh, well, my grandchildren have a good Eid. They have a nice Eid, you know. He said, but I just want to make sure that you brothers are all right. I said, well, we want to thank you because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be able to do anything. You know. He said, no. He said, no, brother. He said, it's Allah. If it wasn't for Allah, he was so humble. If it wasn't for Allah, you know. I said, well, you're right, but Allah gave us you. And I got sense enough to know that if it wasn't for you modeling and teaching us and teaching me how to be a husband and a father for my children, I'd probably be in prison somewhere or somewhere high, crazy somewhere. I mean, I'm just being honest. That's just where it's at, you know. So alhamdulillah, we're talking about life as the final battlefield, you know. And the Imam has given us so much wisdom, especially for this present time that we're living in right now. You know, we hear so many things and see so many things about the Muslims. I made a statement yesterday at the press conference and quoting an author, famous author, Mark Twain, I believe it was, that said, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. And in relating that to our situation here in America as Muslims, it is that. It's the best of times, but it's also the worst of times. You say, well, you know, Ramadan, that's kind of contradictory. But really it's not. Because we know that the Muslim community is being